Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. So, who's ready to do their big one? Hey y'all, it's me, Bustle and Spears, and welcome back to Hot or Hot. Today we'll be reviewing the Let the Light In promos from the freshly announced cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18. We've got 14 new queens promo photos and Meet the Queens interviews to dissect, where the theme was Let There Be Light, and the general color palette of these promos is like champagnes, bronzes, oranges, pinks, sunset colors. And this promo definitely got me excited for the new season, but the one glaring issue I noticed with the season so far is that there was not a single twist announced. Unfortunately, you're not gonna hear me saying, oh, y'all wanted a twist, in this video. Thank God, right? Anyways, we've got a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and go queen by queen to break everything down for this brand new season that comes out on January 2nd. First up, she's everyone's mother. It's Athena Dion from Miami, Florida, who is actually Morphine Love Dion and Plain Jane's drag mother, plus drag mother of Juicy Love Dion, who's also on this season and we'll talk about later. Miss Athena describes herself as the Greek glam goddess of season 18 and says she's a drag queen talking about loving Cher and Celine Dion and how she is going to be giving that big glamorous Florida drag. Of this cast, her energy does feel very mother, very professional, very been around the block, and so I'm excited to see somebody with, I think, some experience in the industry, as it were, compete on a new season of Drag Race, because I do feel like, and this isn't a bad thing, but it is something I've noticed, a lot of these newer casts just don't have any like industry girls who've been doing it for a really long time like these. Anyways, her look, I think, is very true to who she says she is as a queen. It's big, it's bold, she's got these huge giant, we'll call them shoulder pad wings. And this definitely is a look that I think looks better in the promo photo shoots than it does just sitting in a chair or even walking a runway because of the shape and size and weight of it all. The proportions are just captured really well in the photo. And I do love it there and would say it's hot, but the IRL version, not quite as exciting. That's still hot. How will the drag family stuff affect her and Juicy competing in the same competition? I really don't know though. If there are any twists, I think, that allow for alliances to form, maybe we could see something brewing in that kind of realm. But having a mother and a daughter on the same season does strike me very much as producers trying to force a storyline to come to a head, because I can bet you more than anything, these two are probably gonna have to end up lip syncing. Anyways, next up, it's Briar Blush from Boston, Massachusetts, who describes herself as timeless, retro feeling, but modern, and then later, not alternative, but not alternative. She is everything. She is every woman. She is every world. What I found interesting in her interview was how she kind of avoided wanting to label herself as an alternative girl, despite having, I guess, what are classically alternative references and interests like horror movies, body horror, goth stuff, emo songs, stuff like that. And despite having all those interests, it's clear visually she has tried to separate her drag aesthetic from those interests a lot. She is giving pretty pink ballerina perfection with these little beautiful flower accents in her hair. She kind of looks like Priscilla Presley, who is apparently one of her style icons. I think it's just like a really soft, gorgeous, simple look that clearly tells us who she is. And I would say this look is hot. And next up, we've got not the knockoff Sprite brand Ciara Myst, but Ciara Myst, the drag queen, who's from Indianapolis and said she's Indy's shape-shifting superstar who blends sci-fi, fantasy, and magic into her drag, which I'm excited to see. I just hope she doesn't make herself disappear right out of the competition. But we can obviously see from the visual presentation of this queen, she is going to be giving alternative boots down. She's even got this crazy makeup with some prosthetic work like on her cheekbone that we can see, which I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot of because she apparently is a professional prosthetics designer. And also talks about how she makes a lot of her own costumes. So I'm really excited from like a visual creative standpoint to see what this queen is going to be bringing to the show, because this look I feel like is alternative. I like the spikes. I like these upside down sort of glitter emoji design elements, we'll call them, that are on the boots and then in the hair, and everything feels super cohesive in this, giving kind of like a Wonder Woman fantasy to me. This look is definitely hot, and one of the really cool things I found about this queen on their Instagram was that they've apparently recreated a lot of the older Drag Race promos from multiple different seasons of recent years. And while it's clear some of her more recent posts, her drag has elevated a lot from the earlier stuff, I think it's really cool to see where her creative mind is going with her drag. But ho ho ho! I was just checking my naughty list twice. And as it turns out, I have you down for not using a VPN while connected to the internet? Well, have no fear, Surfshark VPN, the sponsor of today's video, is here. Because mama, here's the holla tea. When you're shopping online this holiday season without a VPN, you run the risk of leaving sensitive information like credit card information and bank logins exposed to sneaky snoopers. But in just one click, Surfshark can help keep you and your sensitive information safe by encrypting all of your internet activity in a VPN tunnel. Plus, Surfshark can help you virtually change your relocation to unlock geo-restricted content and streaming platforms like every season of RuPaul's Drag Race, All Stars, and Untucked. And pro tip for this holiday season, Surfshark can also help you avoid price discrimination when shopping online for things like airline tickets and hotels. Oh, and can I tell you one more thing? Surfshark can also be used on all of your devices with unlimited device login. And now that's the tea. So what are you waiting for? Unblock the internet and secure your internet privacy today by visiting surfshark.com/Bussy. And make sure to use code Bussy at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark. Thanks Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. And next up it's Darlene Mitchell. Darlene, please don't steal my man, who in her Entertainment Weekly interview describes herself as a country camp queen, blending soap opera glamour with Midwestern trailer trash panache. Her bio also says she has 10 years of drag experience, but also has a 5-year hiatus from performing. Anyways, the look she is giving is big hair, big sleeves, big pink bow, big train. She is doing big traditional style country drag, which I think fits very true to how she is selling and billing herself as this country-ish small town queen. This look has gotten is pretty. It's pink, love pink. And I think she did a good job capturing the grandness of this promo. It's not necessarily the most like exciting or unique thing to me. Like I do feel like we've seen this silhouette a lot, but she looks good. And the thing is, like, so many of the queens in this promo just look good. And so I would say this look is definitely hot. But the bigger challenge, I think, for a lot of these queens was to stand out because everyone just looked so good. The bar was just high. And like I said, we've got Double D, Fuego, the one and only queen this season from New York, New York. And this queen brings in some interesting experience having been a production designer for TV and off-Broadway theater productions. She's also very DIY, apparently making her own drag mixes and her drag clothes. It says on the show that we can expect a lot of 7.5s out of 10, saying that she can do a lot of different things, but isn't necessarily stand out great at any of them. And so I'm guessing we're gonna see a lot of safes from her in this competition. With all this DIY experience and being a crafty queen, I would expect that she could probably, yeah, make anything work on the show. And she seems pretty comfortable and funny on camera, so I think that's going to do well with Ru. Overall, you know, this look I think is pretty. It's kind of giving me Princess Diana a little bit. I love that it's a bridal look. That's unique for this set of looks. She's got her little veil, the flower crown. I think it's very pretty. It's very simple. And she's very much capturing that sunlight goddess fantasy. This look is Fuego. And next up is the self-proclaimed queen of punk, Discord Addams from St. Pete, Florida. Miss Discord describes her fashion as high fashion punk rock maximalist, and I think that definitely comes through both in her look today and her Instagram presence, where we can see all kinds of cool looks where she is just doing all really, really interesting alternative fashion things. And for her promo, I love how unique this look is in the cast, and it is true to exactly what she said she wants to do in drag, and that was maximalism. She has a million different chains, gold chains, pearls, applique details. I mean, this is so intricately designed, but then also really loose and flowy in an interesting way. And that I think was a unique accomplishment in this garment for sure. Plus, I just love that it's different from everyone else's tonight. She said this look was meant to look like if she were a church, but a transformer. And I think she definitely accomplished that. I'd give this like a hot. And next up, oh no, she better Jane Don't. It's Jane Don't from Seattle, Washington, who apparently is a lawyer, 9 to 5, Miss Dolly Parton, making that 9 to 5 coin, and who is another queen this season, bringing in some drag family lineage. She is the drag sister of Bosco and Irene the Alien. And when I heard her say that in the interview, I was like, okay, your look, aesthetic, and everything is making so much more sense to me. She definitely fits in with those two a lot. But I can't imagine the pressure of being her and going into the season of Drag Race with both of your drag sisters already having done so well on their seasons. Well, at least both of their all-star seasons. At least if she goes home first, she can't feel too bad about it though, because Irene already did that and showed that you can definitely turn everything around with an all-stars run. Anyways, the look she has on tonight, I had to sit with this for a few minutes. Just giving that like gladiator, biblically accurate angel kind of fantasy thing with this spear, a wing, like literally a gold wing attached to her waist. And at first I didn't really like this look when I just saw it in the video interview because it felt very mismatched and hodgepodge, but in the promo photo itself, it's actually really cool. I can see the vision when everything is placed and the proportions are looking right, but it is a lot. It's a lot of different concepts all mashed up into one. And this is something where it's like parts of it look really cool, the gold armor pieces and the wing specifically, but then I just don't love like the pink bra piece or the glove on the other hand. You know, just some of it's a little not zhushed up as much as it could be. in my humble opinion. Overall for me, this look is like a warming up. And next up, Juicy Love Dion from Miami, Florida, and this is the queen who is here competing alongside her drag mother, and by a function of the family tree that she's in, also being a drag daughter of Morphine Love Dion, who is a drag daughter of Athena Dion. Athena Dion is also her grandmother. Say that 5 times fast. Miss Juicy Love Dion says that she's gonna be giving us that Latina sexiness vibe and mixing it with a little bit of club kid androgyny. And Entertainment Weekly bio says that she turns every performance into a masterclass in dance and is also described as Miami's Afro-Cuban dancing doll. So lip sync Lollapalooza, yes please. Miss Juicy's look honestly gagged me a little bit. I think she has one of the cleanest, most beautiful, simple, and elegant looks in this set of looks. And I'll say sure, the spray painted structured bodice with the like ab anatomy next to all the flowy fabric is not necessarily a new concept. We've seen that in fashion and on the show many times before, but I think this is that done really well. Plus the ring of light headpiece I think looks really great on her. No complaints here. This look is absolutely hot. And next up, everybody's asking, can you please her? It's Kenya Pleaser, who says she is Barry White mixed with Lizzo, and who apparently is a semi-known or well-known Lizzo impersonator, according to her interview. And you can really see the Lizzo on her Instagram where she does these looks to specifically look like her. It's really uncanny. And so maybe she will one day really be known as the Derek Barry of Lizzo impersonations. And y'all, if there was one interview that really stood out to me as full of charisma, it was this one. Kenya is a queen that I think is gonna be narrating this season. I could listen to her read the phone book. She's bringing me a lot of personality and good vibes. And the way she talks, you can tell she's no stranger to working a mic, talking to a crowd, or telling some jokes. I'm excited for this queen. And her look is really beautiful, simple, and elegant. Dark chocolate brown with gold accents. I love that floating neck collar piece. I think she looks good. This look is hot. And next up, ready for something sweet? It's Mandy Mango, who is from Philly and has a day job working as a nurse specializing in HIV care and is first generation Filipino American, and says her biggest drag inspiration is actually her mother, who is a pageant queen herself in the Philippines. The thing that stood out to me most about this queen was that crazy wig she is wearing that's sculpted to literally look like a pageant crown with like the lattice work and even stones dangling in the holes. That is insane. She gets a hot dress for that wig. The rest of the look is, I think, as you might expect from a queen whose references are all very pageant rooted. It's big, it's ruffly, it's encrusted with rhinestones. It is that soft with hard kind of concept coming together again here. I don't think this look is breaking any boundaries or doing anything new, but it gets across that she is pretty and she loves pageantry. This look is a warming up. And next up, Mamma Mia, it's Mia Starr from West Palm Beach, Florida. And in her Meet the Queens interview, she talks a bit about her dancing resume, which includes world tour credits for Rihanna, Britney Spears, and also a Super Bowl performance with J-Lo. And so with all the hip hop dance experience, I am hoping for another really cool lip syncing queen here, of which we now have a few saying that they can perform really well. She also says in the interview that she started drag 17 years ago, but apparently took a 14-year break, which means I guess that she quit and restarted 14 years later. But calling that a break is very drag, and I love that. This queen also talks about her first love singing, which could come into play for like the talent show, or you know, the Ru's goal if she makes it that far and they do actual queen's vocals. Anyways, concerning her look, she's got these huge shoulder accessories that kind of look like butterfly nets. I love the shape and proportion of those accessories on this outfit. The rest of it is like this gold bodice with some interestingly placed tassels. And I understand the idea of her going for this sort of burlesque-y fashion with this look, which you can see she's going for on the legs with the straps as well. But I don't really understand the tassels on the outside of the outfit. They feel distracting to me, and I also just don't love where the bodice ends. But I guess for being a dancer, she probably went an outfit where she could move her legs and stuff, so I guess that makes sense for her. Overall, though, this look is not as exciting to me as the rest. I'm gonna leave this with a warming up. And next up, hey Myki, it's Myki Meeks, not Mickey Meeks as the spelling might suggest, or at least that's how I read it in my head, but I was wrong. And Miss Myki is a queen who describes herself as a dynamic theatrical powerhouse and recovering theater kid. She says one of her hidden talents is Super Smash Bros, and she has this interesting kind of cartoony little Betty Boopy vibe about her that I found really intriguing. I loved how it felt like she was kind of holding her cards close to her chest, which suggests to me that she's gonna go far in this season, or will at least definitely be one to watch out for. I think she's got a great personality that's shown through well. Her look is also phenomenal. This is honestly the only look that I loved in this promo set, like truly loved. She was able to inject a lot of what makes her unique and special with all these pearlescent details on the cup, the little things coming off the top, the way they swivel. She's got these key rings on both hands, the wig with a little, I mean, it's all just so cool and different from what everyone else did. Myki's got the keys of the kingdom this week. This look is hot. And next up, 4 syllables, 2 words. Nini Coco, whose name apparently comes from her real name, Nico, and is a queen who is another costume designer making a lot of her own looks. Which reminds me, this was like one of the first Meet the Queens interviews that I've watched, and we didn't have like 3 or 4 different queens openly saying that they can't sew. And so I don't know if this season's casting of all these queens with costume designing skills is reflective of the show itself looking for those queens, or if queens are just becoming more skilled these days. But the costume making and designing are certainly pros on something like Drag Race. Anywho, this queen apparently has quit her day job as a mechanical engineer to do drag, and I hope that works out for her. And the look that she is wearing today, it's kind of giving me if Zapdos, the Pokemon, were a drag queen with all the spikes on her. I really like how if all these other queens are different parts of the beautiful sunset, she is like literally the spiky sun rays at the top. And I just think this catsuit was done really well. Like the way the spikes are seamlessly molded or meshed into the rest of the outfit is smart. And she looks like she is Club Kitty, fashiony. I really think this look is hot. And next up, it's Vita VonTesse, who's from Montgomery, Alabama, and describes her drag as old school and traditional. And Miss Vita was a queen who came off as very humble, very reserved, another queen to be holding her cards close to her chest, because you go check out her Instagram, you can see all these super fierce looks from what I think are different competitions that she's entered into, and also costumes for people like Beyonce that she's recreated and worn. Interestingly though, she was the only queen who in the Meet the Queens interview admits she can't do stunts, can't do tricks, dips, any of that, so don't expect it from her, but says that her performances will be captivating. So TBD on that, I guess. The look she's wearing today is one of the more simple, I think, in this set. I really like the sunray headpiece, and I think that big cape is really big, draggy, and I do like how she's got maximalist with the accessories in this look, the necklaces, the rings, the bracelets. She has every piece of big drag jewels on. This is a queen's queen who loves that traditional drag style, and I do think this look works for her. It's not huge, it's not grand, but it works. She looks pretty, and I'm gonna give it a high. As my final thoughts on this season 18 cast, I noticed there's a lot of Southern queens, I think following a trend from last season, and only one queen from New York, where we usually have 3 or 4. Plus there are no queens from Chicago, but several from Florida. And so I don't know if this is, again, the show and producers trying to seek out a more diverse set of cast members from across the different corners of the US, or if that's just who's applying these days. But I'm expecting some fresh perspectives on here, plus hopefully some interesting interactions between the drag family members like the Dions. And then I'm also curious, of course, to see how Jane Don't from the Bosco Irene family is going to interact in place. Like, will she be first out like Irene or go straight to the finals like Bosco? Who knows? But concerning the looks, like I said, everyone looked good. It's clear like the budgets for promos these days are big, and they obviously have some sort of stylist or fashion person working with them to make sure that they're bringing good looks to these promos. However, I think there was a bit of a homogenization problem with these looks because the color palette felt across the board a little samey, and the styles all ended up very like hard and flowy. It was hard for the queens to stand out because they all kind of looked right up here, but some did, like Myki, you know, whose promo look got me really excited. It's almost like the promos are starting to feel like too good these days, which isn't a bad thing, but I think when all the looks are great and all of them are kind of looking the same, it can sap some of the uniqueness out of the Meet the Queens interviews. Don't forget to let me know what y'all are thinking about all this down in the comments below. Let me know your hottest hot of the week, and if any of these queens or cast members straight up surprised you. As for my hottest hot, I'm gonna give it to Myki Meeks, and I also asked my patrons over on patreon.com/BussyQueen to vote on their hottest hot, and they've also chosen Myki Meeks. Oh, and y'all don't forget to check out today's video sponsor, Surfshark, before you go. As y'all know, I've loved using Surfshark for several years now to help secure my internet privacy, and I know you'll love it too. Visit surfshark.com/Bussy or click the link below and use code Bussy at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark. Plus they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in just trying it out. I also want to give an extra special shout out to Felicia, Laura, Ashton, Matthew Burns, and Will and Tanner, who are all supporting me at the Bussy Queen Collector tier at patreon.com. See y'all later. Love ya. Bye.